Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a news reaction from Hollywood. I am stunned that actor Val Kilmer has passed away April 1st, 2025. He was 65 years old. He's a little bit older than I am. He's a generation ahead of me, but I can tell you that he was an iconic person as well as an actor. He changed Hollywood in many different ways, but I'm just actually stunned. And this is a tribute to Val Kilmer as well. I want to get into some of his movies that he did and kind of explain what I knew about him. Definitely, I'm doing some videos on Tombstone as we speak. And I was mentioning that I had a chance to actually go and be a part of Tombstone back in the 1990s as an extra. And I turned it down for some reason. So I never really got to meet Val Kilmer, but I am just stunned at what has come about here in the last few hours. And I don't really like to react to these type of things, but he was one of my top 3 all-time actors in many different movies. Val Kilmer, born December 31st, 1959, that made him a Capricorn, and he passes away April 1st, 2025, both born in Los Angeles and passed away in Los Angeles. He supposedly died from pneumonia at age 65. Very sad, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at some of his movies and let me go over some of that. He's done so many movies. He's been a part of many different movies, but he's been in a major role or the lead role in many of those movies. I definitely have responded to Top Gun Maverick, obviously when Tom Cruise brought him back a couple years ago. The Birthday Cake, I've never seen that. Pay Dirt, I didn't really hear about that. I hadn't heard too much about Val Kilmer in the last 4 or 5 years, I would say. Soldier Revenge, The Firstborn, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I didn't know that he was a part of that. The Super, I didn't see that as well. The Snowman, I had heard of that one, but I think that was more of a Netflix type movie. Song to Song, I guess that was a small part for Val Kilmer. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, maybe he played a small role in that. Palo Alto, obviously this was before he had his issues with surgery with his cancer, I believe. Planes, we knew he was part of this comedy or this cartoon. Standing Up, never saw it, but I'm sure it was pretty good. Breathless, The Fourth Dimension. You know, I hadn't known quite a few Val Kilmer movies in a while. 2012, Seven Below. Then we have Wyatt Earp's Revenge, which honestly I never really knew or I hadn't paid attention to. It was on Pluto TV. Twixt, never seen that. 5 Days of War. Blood Out, well, Val Kilmer obviously was in that. Kill the Irishman, I had seen this one before. It was a really good, strong movie. He played a secondary role in that. Riddle. Gun, obviously with 50 Cent, never really saw that. The Traveler, I definitely remember this one, but this was kind of in Val Kilmer's down years as he started to go down in popularity, I would think. MacGruber, never really saw that, never really heard about it. Bloodworth, this was a movie I had heard about, but didn't really pay too much attention to. Double Identity. This was one of Val Kilmer's B-movie type of roles, I think. But he had some really good B-movie movies anyway. Even though I'm calling them B-movies, they were still strong acting roles for Val. Hard Worker, or Hardwired, sorry. Never saw that movie. Wow, I didn't know Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, New Orleans. I didn't know he was in a show or a movie with Nicolas Cage. The Thaw, 2009. American Cowslip. Never heard of that one. STEM Experiment, The Chaos Experiment. 222. Felon. The Love Guru. Yes, I knew about that. That was more of a cameo. Kind of a funny movie. Columbus Day. Delgo. The Conspiracy. I remember that movie. I thought it was pretty good, even though it wasn't real popular. West Texas Lullaby. Never heard of that one, folks. He's been in so many. The Ten Commandments, the musical. Deja Vu. Maybe it was a small part. Dead Man's Bounty. Moscow. Don't know exactly what that was, but man, he's been in a lot more movies than I remember. Played. 10th and Wolf. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Mindhunters, maybe a small role in that. Spartan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the last Val Kilmer movies I really remember being very, very excited about. It was a very strong movie. I think it was a low-budget movie, but he played a wonderful role in trying to get a dignitary's child out of the Middle East and back into the United States. Obviously, even though that dignitary was trying to eliminate his own child for bad publicity, I guess. But that Spartan was a wonderful movie. George and the Dragon, Blind Horizon, Missing, Wonderland was a wonderful movie by Val Kilmer. Masked and Anonymous. Hard Cash, sorry. The Salton Sea. I liked the movie, but it didn't get great reviews. It was kind of a weird movie anyway. The writing and directing was kind of skewed. Red Planet, this was one of the last bigger movies that Val Kilmer seemed to be in, even though it didn't really turn out to be that popular. Tom Sizemore was in it. Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix was in it. Pollock, I think he played a small role in that movie. It was a really good movie. Joe the King, didn't really see it. At First Sight, one of Val Kilmer's silent best movies. I believe he played a blind man in that. He was also voice in The Prince of Egypt. The Ghost in the Darkness, one of the better movies of Val Kilmer, alongside some great acting as well. The Island of Dr. Moreau, one of Val Kilmer's tougher, ridiculed movies, I believe, especially with Brando, I believe, that was in it as well, Marlon Brando. And then now we come to 1995, The Heat, or Heat, with some wonderful actors in there. And he played a minor role in this movie, but Val Kilmer was unbelievable in it and portrayed along Al Pacino brilliantly. And then we come to Batman Forever. I believe this was his only Batman that he was ever in. Some people say, why was he even called up to be a Batman? But I believe at the time it was a really good movie. It was way better than George Clooney. Wings of Courage. Didn't really hear about that movie. Val Kilmer in Tombstone as the famous Doc Holliday. We all know this. It was a wonderful, wonderful movie. Probably his top 3 best movies that I believe Val Kilmer ever acted in. It was tremendous acting. His Doc Hollywood should have garnered at least an Oscar attempt, anyway. The Real McCoy. Probably most of you have never heard of this movie or seen it. I saw it with Kim Basinger. It was a wonderful, hilarious movie. if I can do a review and or a reaction to the real McCoy, I definitely will, especially Val Kilmer towards the end. Thunderheart, also one of my top 5 favorite Val Kilmer movies and favorite movies of all time. The Doors, obviously most people are going to say one of the top 3 or 4 movies Val Kilmer ever did. I think it was in his top 10. I wasn't really into Jim Morrison in The Doors so much, but he played a brilliant part. Kill Me Again. Definitely really never saw that. That was one of his earlier works. Billy the Kid, yes, he did play it. It was a smaller, non-rated movie or a television show back in 1989. Willow, definitely a wonderful little Disney movie back in the day. He played a valiant actor in that. The Man Who Broke 1,000 Chains didn't do that well, but Val still gave a great performance in it. The Murders in the Rue Morgue. I didn't really know this movie too much. I think it was one of Val's earlier ones. Then we have Top Secret, probably his first movie that he ever made. He probably did some commercials or other things before that. But by far, my most favorite movie of Val Kilmer was Real Genius. I know I haven't done a review on that yet, but he was wonderful in it. It was one of those little kooky movies, but he played a genius that I'll never, ever forget. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. It's a shock to me. And everyone here at First Reacts. There he was with Batman, obviously in Top Gun, the first one. That was, I believe, was Heat. I don't know which one that was. That was Willow. And this was The Doors, obviously. And here you see him as Batman Forever. Looked a lot younger with those glasses on, didn't he? Val Kilmer as the great Doc Holliday. And that's Just My Game, as we've seen in Top Gun, or as we've seen in Tombstone. This was in the movie Heat, where he was buying some explosives at the time. Very sad day, ladies and gentlemen, for the movie industry. I wish Val Kilmer's family all the best. I know he had children. God bless. And from First Reacts here on YouTube, all the best to Val Kilmer and his family.